I've been into motorsports my whole life, from racing motocross all the way up to drifting and everything car related. I have a good group of friends behind me, known these guys forever, closest family. In my opinion, I have the best friends in the world. And life has a way of catching up to you. I mean, when you're younger, it's all fire. You're going out, you're going to shows, you're doing stuff, you're spending all your money on cars. We grow up, get responsibilities, things start to die off, quiet down. That's where I've been for the last few years. This summer, for those of you that don't know, I lost my brother to a car crash. A brother that watched me do all these things as he was growing up, and he followed in my footsteps. He was going to be right there next to us, doing exactly what we do. He never had a chance to race his car, but he did race BMX. When he was racing, his number was 253, and that's why this is Project 253. It's pretty much dedicated to his memory. And what I've learned from this is you got one life. You got one shot to do whatever you want to do. You can't let yourself get stuck up in a loop where you're not happy, doing things you don't want to do, job you don't want to have. I'm not saying quit your job because it sucks, but you got to find a way to do something you love. You need a passion, you need a goal, you need something to chase after. So that lit the fire under my ass. This is Project 253. We're gonna do what we do, live life, have fun. I'm always gonna miss my little brother Eldon. This is for you, buddy. Love you, bro. Now this is my 1966 Pontiac Acadian Invader. This car's been in the family for so long. If I'm ever gonna build one car all the way, this is gonna be the one.
Hidden high up in a tower, from the world concealed. Made near the breaking hour, when the truth will be revealed. The facadas of a stronger, to a naked king we kneel. Yeah, your nose is growing longer, when will you be real? Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why, can you wake up? Tell me why you're wasting, waiting for this.
After having this car for 4 years, driving around with it, feeling it, it's time for an upgrade. So I took it for one last ride before I started tearing it apart. Looks good, sounds good, handles like absolute shit. It's time to change up the steering setup, change up the suspension, get something that handles good. This car belonged to my grandmother. When she had it, it was an original straight 6 car, bench seat in the front. When my uncle was 16, he got a hold of it. He put in a 350 with a turbo 350 transmission. Lots more power, great sound, but a little outdated.
I just crashed my Porsche 'cause I'm super rich. Hopped out, got another one, I'm super rich. I'ma spend all this money 'cause I'm super rich. I'ma get it all back 'cause I'm super rich. Yeah, I'm super rich. Yeah, I'm super rich. Hopped out, got another one, I'm super rich. I'ma spend all this money 'cause I'm super rich. I'ma get it all back, right? Now I'ma spend all this money 'cause I'm super rich. I'ma get it all back, right? Get it all back.
loosen up on both the 132 and 138. It's busy on the Montreal side, however. Indian military operation against the Taliban in Afghanistan 10 years ago.
The flooding is also a problem in the Mauricie region in central Quebec. Dozens of homes along rivers are flooded. In the region.
So when spring rolled around and it was gloomy, dark, raining all the time, I saw this as an opportunity to get stuff done. Since I don't have time in the winter, I would have to push it this spring and get as much done as I possibly can on this car. I had no idea that this gloomy, dark weather, constant rain, no sun, I didn't know it was foreshadowing the rest of the events of the summer. Nonetheless, I used this time, I got to work. Within 4 days, I had the car completely stripped down, the front off, the motor out, right to the firewall. I worked hard all winter, spent all my cash on parts.
Let's pick it up a bit and do a build breakdown. The subject, 1966 Pontiac Acadian Invader. Build a Pro Tour style muscle car with the heart of a race car.
The new frame rails went on beautifully, and with having to weld the subframe on yourself, this gave me the perfect opportunity to adjust the car's caster. After getting the whole front suspension test fitted and aligned the way I wanted, it was time to start working on getting the motor to fit inside. Lined up everything exactly where I wanted and built my mounts around that. To fit the transmission in, I had to do a lot of chopping for the tunnel. This was basically the point of no return. After the motor was in and everything fit exactly the way I wanted, it was time to pull it back out and finish up all the welding on the motor mounts and everything else from the bench. So let's go through the part list from front to back. The front end is Mustang 2 independent front suspension, the corner killer. It has fully adjustable camber, and it also has adjustable coilovers, which should make handling a lot better for this car. The motor is an LM7 5.3 Chevrolet V8. I got the motor and the engine management system from my good friend Freddie LeBlanc, owner and operator at Black Magic Racing, turbo specialist, super fast drag racer.
It's got a truck motor it's a 5.3 truck motor. It's all stock with a turbo. A lot of fun, you know. Friendly competition between buddies, and that's about it. Favorite moment is anytime I'm in the car.
Motor has an LS1 intake and also an LS1 cam. Aeromotive fuel rails, Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator, all Aeromotive filters, all the hard lines and hoses to run 10 and 8 AM lines all the way to the back. Supported by an A1000 Aeromotive fuel pump and a fuel cell. This system pushes enough fuel to support 1400 horsepower. The motor is turned over by an MSD starter, sparked by MSD ignition coils. Everything is controlled by the fast XFI electronic fuel injection system. Moving to the interior, monitoring everything through a full set of auto meter gauges. It's accompanied by a Sparco steering wheel and a set of Sparco racing seats. The idea here is eventually to have a roll cage and something that's going to be really fast. So having everything I need to support that was a good idea from the get-go. It might take quite some time, but I'm going to redo this car from top to bottom, and then we're going to take it out and we're going to see exactly what it can do.